भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री निताई गौरंग की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। So this chapter 6 is titled Sankhya Yoga, wherein Krishna is giving details about a specific yoga system called Ashtanga Yoga, a very authentic yoga system, which has 8 steps to reach the final step called Samadhi, the perfection. Samadhi means complete absorption of one's mind in the thoughts of Krishna, Supreme Lord Vishnu. So, while describing this Ashtanga Yoga, Krishna also is describing many common principles of all the other yoga systems in this chapter. And after hearing the description of these principles of yoga, and especially the Ashtanga Yoga, Arjuna expressed his inability to take up this yoga system called Ashtanga Yoga. Reason being that he was telling, my mind is very unsteady and it is restless. He gives the reason of his mind being very strong and obstinate and restless, and because of which Arjuna's situation being so favorable 5,000 years ago, he expressed his inability to practice this yoga system. So Krishna also acknowledges Arjuna's sense of inability. Yes, Arjuna, I do agree with your point of this yoga being impractical and unendurable. But if you can practice your mind by abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate, by constant practice and detachment, constant practice of Krishna consciousness, beginning with chanting and hearing of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and the other 9 processes. But Prabhupada stresses just chanting and hearing, if you do every day, systematically, fixed number of times, that will actually help you. And this constant practice and detachment. Detachment means, Vairagya means seeing that your mind is not getting agitated by anything which is not connected to Krishna. Mind should be only attached to Krishna's activities, Krishna's words. This is what it means, Vairagya. Vairagya means detachment from matter and engagement of the mind in Krishna. So Prabhupada recommended very practical things. If you can have only prasadam as the diet and Hare Krishna mantra chanting and hearing as the medicine for the disease of our mad mind, this will cure the suffering we are going through of the uncontrolled mind. Right? Our mind is like mad mind. Prabhupada says a treatment, expert treatment for the mad mind is the chanting of Hare Krishna, hearing and chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and the proper diet of Krishna Prasadam. Right? This is a treatment of Krishna consciousness. So Krishna also says that this practice has to be done with the proper directions, the right way as given by the Acharyas. So now Arjuna comes up with a question. His first question was about the uncontrolled mind, right? And Krishna answered that. Now he has one more question with regard to, okay, I may practice yoga system. Meanwhile, I may not be able to complete it or perfect it. Because unless perfection is there, I don't think so the yoga system will have any result on the final result. Because for whatever reason, I may get distracted. So Prabhupada very nicely explains how taking up any yoga system, practice of any yoga system is like declaring war against Maya, illusory energy. because all of us are very happily going on in our lives. Everything is going well. Our life is going well, right? Routine. I'm getting up, I'm reading newspaper, watching television, socializing. Things are all going very well. So what is the problem? No problem, right? So like that people think. So when you start reading Bhagavad Gita, start chanting Hare Krishna, wanting to understand the purpose of life, the problem starts, because it seems like, what I'm doing. The family members are telling, what are you doing? Right? First problem. Second problem is, mind itself is giving a lot of reasons. Maybe I'm doing something which is not correct. So these are all different types of, say, pullings which Maya is doing, so that, we get a doubt about what we are doing. Basically, Maya is doing her job of trying to see that we are firmly fixed up in our practice of Krishna consciousness. Why Prabhupada says to pursue the path of Krishna consciousness or transcendental path is more or less to declare war on illusory energy, because right now we are so much absorbed in illusory energy. Our life, illusory energy means we are thinking I am this body, and bodily connections is what life is. I am body, everybody is body, and then bodily interaction, this is life. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending is life. Working hard, earning money, enjoying life is life. Like this, we go on with so many, our own concoctions and perceptions, and this way life is going on, right? So this being the situation, anything which is going against this, you think it is an obstacle. Whereas our spiritual situation is that as spirit souls, we are supposed to have an eternal life. Whereas this life is a life which is going to end one day. Even this life, what we are living, is having so many situations of challenges and complexities and miseries, which when it happens, we think, what is this life going on? What is this? What is going on in my this difficult situation I'm going through? So that way, once in a while, you get a glimpse of the miserable situation. Sometimes the situation goes on for long, so you realize, oh, life means this, life means that. You start philosophizing, right? So basically, what Bhagavad Gita is trying to explain is the material life of, say, few years in this human form is not everything. Our life is eternal life, and eternal life of complete knowledge and complete bliss, complete enjoyment is a actual life. Given opportunity, we would like to have an eternal existence. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to grow old. Nobody wants to become diseased. But these things are forced upon us. So this itself shows that this type of a existence, what we're going through, is something which is not real. That's why it's called illusory. We have taken up, or we have imagined a type of a life right now, think that this is what is actual life. But this is the point which Prabhupada says, when you take up spiritual journey or spiritual path, transcendental path, it is like declaring war against Maya. War means, as you see, we have at least we have some experience. War, Kurukshetra war, the Ramayana war. Now there is a Ukraine-Russia war. So many wars going on in the world. War means there is intense fight between both of them, and there are casualties. And every party is trying to attack other party in a way that I had to win. So basically, war means you are trying to come out of Maya's clutches, Maya's hold. Right now, we're all in Maya's lap or Maya's hold. Maya's hold means, oh, I am the body and everything is going well, and my other relatives are their bodies, and we're all living a very nice, wonderful life. This is called Maya. But when you realize that I am spirit soul, other bodies are also spirit souls, actually. We all come together by our own previous karmas, and we're going to separate again. We'll have different bodies going forward if you don't realize the importance of spiritual life. Then you start endeavoring how to come out of this bodily engagement. When you take up spiritual path seriously, that becomes a sort of a alert for Maya. Oh, you want to escape my clutches? Then she will put more force to keep you under her clutches. That's why it's called war. So in this war, you always constantly follow the abhyasa, practice of Krishna consciousness, and practice the principles of detachment. Krishna is always going to save us. That's what Krishna said we'll say in the next chapter, we'll see. The hold of Maya is very strong. Daivi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. To come out of the hold of Maya is not easy. But if you surrender to Krishna, mam eva ye prapadyante. If you surrender to Krishna, Krishna will tell the Maya energy, because it is his energy, don't disturb this person. So our determination, our commitment to follow the path of transcendence or the path of bhakti is what is important. So Arjuna's specific question is, somebody with full earnestness, with full seriousness, you would have started the path of spiritual journey, but due to some distraction while in the path, he may have again gone away from the practice, and maybe he didn't complete the path, complete the process. It may be karma yoga or ashtanga yoga or dhyana yoga or even bhakti yoga. So what happens to such a person is the question. Prabhupada very nicely gives an example. All of us know this example, but even then, in this context, let us hear that. Prabhupada says there was one Rishi by name Vishwamitra Muni. He was a great king, Kshatriya. Later on, he accepted the renounced order, and he went to the forest to perform great austerities. So he wanted to achieve perfection in his practice of Ashtanga Yoga, basically. It is a very long time ago. So even the great Rishi Vasishta was his priest in his kingdom. Such a great Rishi he was. So while he was performing his austerities, very severe austerities, as prescribed in the scriptures, the king of heaven, Indra, became a little disturbed, because when somebody becomes powerful in his tapasya, austerities, it is very much possible that that person can be elevated to the post of Indra. It's like now elections are going to happen. All the parties are very much anxious who will become the next prime minister, right? Each party claims, we are having all the majority. We'll have our party candidate as prime minister. It's like that. So when even Indra, Devata, is feeling very insecure that if somebody in this world is performing severe austerities, he can become Indra and my position will become, again degraded. So Indra, feeling insecure, he sent one Apsara, society girl by name Menaka, to distract Vishwamitra Muni from his performance of austerity. So Menaka came and she had a dancing, and Vishwamitra Muni's austerity, he was distracted, and Menaka combined with Vishwamitra Muni, and then they had a beautiful daughter by name Shakuntala. And after this, sometime Vishwamitra Muni realized, oh, I was practicing seriously yoga practice of Ashtanga yoga, and then now suddenly this distraction has happened. And he immediately left his family and he again went for austerities. And Prabhupada says, when Vishwamitra Muni was going away like this, Menaka is holding Shakuntala and calling the Muni. Maybe you would have seen this old picture, old photo. Prabhupada says in a lecture. She is calling, see, look at this child, beautiful child. You are going away, leaving this child. He again wanted to get Vishwamitra Muni back to lead the family life. But Vishwamitra Muni, realizing his mistake, he went away. So this is an example which is often quoted in the scriptures, how a yogi who was practicing yoga, he got distracted. But later on, he again continued his practice and then he achieved perfection. So this is a question. So basically, Arjuna's specific point was, a yogi like this get distracted and he's neither here nor there. Neither materially he is able to get any success, nor spiritually he didn't complete his process. So what is his situation? He's like a broken cloud, just like clouds, small clouds come and become a bigger cloud, and from there, right, cloud burst happens, thunder happens, and then rain happens. With these scattered clouds, you cannot say there'll be rain. So like that, this cloud will be like a scattered cloud which is of no use. This person's life will become like that. So Krishna, please tell me, what is the destination of such a person? What will happen to him? Yoga Brashtaha, this is the word he uses. Yoga Brashtaha. So what is the destination of the Yoga Brashta? Yoga Brashta means one who has taken up the path of spiritual journey, but somehow he couldn't complete his practice of spiritual journey. He didn't perfect his path. So what is his destination? So Krishna answers in verse number 40 onwards, very nicely in series of verses. Very nice, very beautiful explanation. So you may think, just like in our material experience, unless something is completed, it's not called, you will not say you're achiever, right? Unless you complete it, people will not recognize it as achievement, right? You have to get the milestone completed. So in spiritual life, what is the perspective should have? Krishna explains. So verse number 40, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, Partha Naiveha na Amutra, Vinashas Tasya Vidyate, Nahi Kalyanakrit Kaschit, Durgatim Tata Gachati. The Lord, blessed Lord said, Partha, son of Pratha, Arjuna, a transcendentalist who is engaged in auspicious activities. Kalyanakrit Kaschit. So here, Krishna uses the word Kalyanakrit, means auspicious activity. Auspicious basically means what is auspicious for your soul, right? Spiritual activity which is going to give you complete liberation from this material world is auspicious. Anything which is not going to take you out of this material world is inauspicious, right? Sometimes people say Shubha, Ashubha, right? In terms of, what is going to satisfy them for their self-gratification. But from the Bhagavad Gita's perspective, auspicious means which is going to completely liberate you from this material world. Any activity which can help you in this is called auspicious activity. So this auspicious activity will, when it is engaged in, will not make you entangled in this material world. Rather, it's going to liberate you. So what Krishna is saying, Vinashas Tasya Vidyate na Amutra. Na Amutra means neither in this life or the next life you will ever be entangled. You will be having constant progress in your spiritual life. Always you're going to have spiritual good, right? So Krishna says, Durgatim Tata Gachati. You'll never have degradation. You will always have spiritual progress only. So very important perspective. This has been already explained by Krishna in the second chapter, which is actually the contents of the Gita summarized. In that chapter, Krishna already explained all these principles. Now there is explanation, elaboration in different chapters. Krishna said in second chapter, verse number 40, that salpamapi yasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Right? Neha bhikramo nashosti satyavayuna vidyate. Even a small endeavor on this path of spiritual journey is going to save you from the greatest danger, Krishna said. And in this endeavor, there is no loss, there is no diminution. There is no question of anything which is actually that, nothing is going to happen, it's a waste of time. No. Even little endeavor, even little progress on this path, we're going to have the effect will be permanent. Prabhupada gives the example of Ajamila there. Ajamila was a Brahmana in his younger days, but later, due to bad association, he fell down and then he degraded so much that he led a very, very abominable life. But because of his devotion in his younger days, he was saved at the end of his life. He was able to utter the name of Narayana. And further, Lord gave him opportunity to perfect his life in that way. He went back to spiritual world. So Prabhupada says, if you have perfected spiritual life to the point of 10%, then your next life, you'll begin from 11th percent. Whereas in this life, if you have studied your degree and post-graduation, you have done. Next life, you cannot say, I've done post-graduation, I'll continue from there. No, you have to again start from ABCD. That is material life. Spiritual life is cumulative. Whatever you do will never be lost. That's what Krishna says. Vinashas tasya vidyate. Amutra vinashas, which means it will never be lost. It's a permanent asset for you. So Prabhupada gives the quote from Bhagavatam, very nice understanding from Narada Muni's instructions to Vyasadeva, wherein he says, Tyaktva swadharmam charanambujam hare bhajanna pakvo athapate tato yadi. Very nice. He says, somebody who has given up all his duties, prescribed duties, responsibilities, but completely surrendered to Krishna, charanambujam hare. But due to some worldly mindedness, he gives up the practice. So Narada Muni says there is no loss for him. But other person who is very meticulously following all the rules, regulations, prescribed duties, but he doesn't become Krishna conscious, there is no gain for him. Very interesting perspective, because we may think, oh, he's very honest, sincere, he's taking care of all the duties nicely. But if he's not Krishna conscious, there's no point. So here the principle what Narada Muni is telling us is that we are supposed to become Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means understanding the purpose of life. All the activities what I do should be aimed towards awakening my situation as spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna and serving Krishna. If this awakening has happened, that is the perfection. Otherwise, anything else you do without this awakening, Bhagavata says it is only waste of time. It's a labor of love. Shrama eva hi kevalam. So, this is the background with which Krishna is telling this point here. Anybody who has started his spiritual journey, authorized spiritual journey, not that anything you have concocted, oh, I'll do this puja, I'll do that ritual, I'll do some meditation. No concoction, no manufactured way of spiritual life, what you think as spiritual life. Should be authorized. Authorized spiritual practice. That's why you see in the verse 36, which Krishna very clearly mentioned. Vyavasayatmika, Vasyayatmana tu yatata, Shakyo avaptu upayataha. To strive by right means is assured of success. So, you have to have the proper authorized means. Sometimes people do their own way of rituals, pujas, some practices, which is not authorized at all. You should be very careful about that, because somebody told this. No. Should be some authoritative, should have some basis for what you're doing. You should have authorized way of doing things, right? So just like you don't, when you become diseased, you don't simply ask everybody and take any medicine, right? You go to a proper, good authorized doctor, then take the prescription given by the doctor. Likewise, to cure our material disease of repeated birth and death, we have to go through a proper process. That's what we have to approach the parampara system, the authorized parampara system, the disciplic succession of gurus coming from Krishna, right? The 4 authorized sampradayas, any of the authorized sampradayas you have to follow. Right? Otherwise, simply doing anything, everything will have no use, will be of no purpose. Right? So this is what Krishna is telling us here. If you are following this auspicious path, because any acharya from any of these four sampradayas will only give you the direction which is going to give you ultimate auspiciousness. Right? Ultimate kalyana. Kalyana means liberating your entangled soul out of this material world to spiritual world. So that path you have taken, whatever level you have progressed, that is your permanent asset. That is not going to be lost. That is not going to be destroyed anytime. Your body will destroy, but again, you'll get an opportunity next life. Is what Krishna is explaining in this verse number 40. So, Prabhupada says, activity in Krishna consciousness is the only auspicious activity. Because any other activity, whatever you do, is only maybe giving you some material enjoyment or heavenly pleasures, elevation to heavens. But again, all those are temporary. You'll again have to come back, again suffer, again go through the cycle of birth and death. So, Prabhupada very clearly says, anyone who voluntarily accepts all bodily discomforts for the sake of making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness can be called a perfect transcendentalist under severe austerity. So, anything what you do, all the troubles you take to read Bhagavad Gita, to attend this session, or chant Hare Krishna, or offer prasadam bhoga to Krishna, all those activities are simple activities. Whatever austerity you're taking to do this, Krishna is noting down. That is going to be for your permanent, that's going to be your permanent asset. Right? And if you follow strictly the way Prabhupada is telling us, then Prabhupada has guaranteed us. He will take us back to spiritual world. So Krishna first gives the introduction. Yes, Arjuna, anybody who is following this auspicious path is never going to have any destruction. He is going to always move forward in his spiritual life. Next, Krishna says, there are three categories of unsuccessful these practitioners of yoga. He categorizes them into three levels. What happens to them? Verse 41, 42, 43, 44 explains that. So the first two categories are explained in 41st verse. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha suchinam shrimatam gehe yogo brashto vijayate. Okay. So those yogis who have made little progress, they unsuccessful yogis who have made little progress, they fall after a short period of practice. First thing what happens is, Krishna says, they go to higher planetary systems or heavenly planets. Punya kritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha. There they live for so many years because they have done such a wonderful activity of Krishna consciousness, or any practice of even Ashtanga yoga is a auspicious activity, because it is also going to lead you to the Krishna conscious path. Jnana yoga or Ashtanga yoga, Karma yoga, everything is finally leading to Bhakti yoga, step by step. As we understood in the beginning of this chapter, they're all different steps of the ladder. The highest rung of the ladder is Bhakti yoga. So all these different practitioners, whatever level they have practiced, and for a short period they have practiced and become unsuccessful for whatever reason. First of all, they enjoy heavenly pleasures. The heaven, especially Bhagavatam explains, the lifespan there, our 6 months is there 12 hours. And similarly, our 6 more months is another 12 hours, day, night. Our total 1 year is there day and night, 24 hours for them. Like that, they live for 10,000 years. So that many years you're going to live in the heavens. Then you will come back. What will happen when you come down? You can come down in two ways. You will be born in two ways. Suchinam Srimatam Gehe Yogo Brashto Abhijayate. Abhijayate means you will take rebirth in two ways. Yoga Brashta means unsuccessful yogi was performed yoga practice for a short time. He'll take birth in two ways. Either he will take birth in the family of pious family, religious pious family, or he will take birth in a rich family. So both the families have no problem for roti, kapda, makan. Right? Generally, this is the basic necessities which people are all struggling for. Commonly, if you ask people, chant Hare Krishna, tell, oh, busy, you have to go early morning, my working hours, late night, overtime, that, this, so many things, reasons, right? So even the basic necessities, people are struggling. Whereas families like this, Suchinam, Shrimatam, we have very pious family. Prabhupada gives example how in America, Ford family, Rockefeller family, or in India, we have now so many families, Ambani family, Adani family, rich family. So anybody who is, Bhagavatam says, Kunti Maharani says, if somebody is rich, Aishwarya, means you have to understand that person or that family has performed devotion to some level or performed yoga practice to some level of perfection. But they are unsuccessful. So Krishna has again given opportunity for them to continue further and perfect their spiritual life, spiritual journey. Right? Taking birth in a good family, aristocratic family, Janma, having opulent family, or very good in education, scholarly, Vidwan, right? Sometimes you say Vidvat, oh, great learned scholars. Janma, Ishwar, Shita, Shri, very beautiful. So any personalities, people around us with these various opulences you see around us, you should understand they have done spiritual life to some extent in their life, previous life, but somehow incomplete. So Krishna has given one more opportunity. But if you take it otherwise, oh, Krishna has given so much money. Rather, I am already rich, right? I am already beautiful. You become arrogant and misuse the opportunity given to you, then you will degrade. Prabhupada often quoted the example of America. In America, people are opulent, people are beautiful, educated, intelligent. But if you don't use the opportunity for becoming Krishna conscious again, then it will be taken away from Krishna. Prabhupada gives the story of again become the mouse. Anybody knows the story? Again become the mouse. Punar Mushiko Bhava. Anilji, you know? You again become the mouse.
No, not clear, Prabhuji. If you just start, then I can.
Okay, I'll tell it briefly. There was one sage who was meditating, and one rat came.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, the rat asked the sage, I have some problem. So, what is the problem? Cat is chasing. What do you want? Make me a cat. Okay, sage told, Chatastu. After some days, he came back. Cat came running. What is the problem? Dog is chasing me. Okay, make me dog. Okay. After some more days, what happened? What is the problem? Oh, tiger is come in the village that is chasing me. What do you want? Make me a tiger. Okay, Tatastu. He became tiger, this rat. He started snaring at, snoring, rather, very ferociously trying to attack the sage only. Then sage told, Arey, I have made you from cat to rat, rat to dog, dog to tiger. Again, I'll make you mouse. Punar Mushikabova means again become a mouse. So, like that, Krishna will give you, will make you human, will make you Devata, will make you Brahma also, Indra also. But again, he can make you pig also. Right? Indra became pig, because he was cursed. Like that, this is called Punarmushikuva, which means we are going on cycle like this. That is, in a fair, there's a big wheel, Ferris wheel, right? Like that, we will be going round and round, sometimes up, sometimes down. This is going on in our life. Children play a game, ringa, ringa, round. We'll be going round, round, round. Right? Like that, our life also will go on. Sometimes up, sometimes down, only sometimes animal, sometimes worm. Like this, what is the point? So, opportunity is given. If you don't use it, then again you will degrade. But Krishna is very merciful. He has given opportunity because you did something. So which means what you see in the world, somebody's become rich, somebody's this is not accidental. There's a reason behind. So Bhagavad Gita, when you read and understand Krishna's viewpoint, oh, this is the reason. You'll understand. Otherwise, always you'll be thinking, oh, he has become rich. I am very poor. What to do? So don't compare. This comparing, competing, all is going to poison our mind. Best is to accept whatever situation you are in and practice Krishna consciousness. Whether you are poor materially or rich materially, doesn't matter. Krishna consciousness is transcendental, right? So let us practice Krishna consciousness. So this is the first option. For the unsuccessful yogis who have done yoga practice for a short period, these two options are given. Either in a rich family or a very cultured family, you take birth. Next, for unsuccessful yogis who have done practice for a long period, what happens to them? Long practice of yoga they have done. About them, Krishna says, Athava yoginam eva, verse 42. Kule bhavati dhimatam, etadhi durlabhataram loke janma yad idrisham. Athava, or he takes birth in the family of yoginam, transcendentalists, or very dhimatam. Their family is like, very intelligent, scholarly. Prabhupada says Acharya family, Goswami family, right? So he'll take birth in such families who has done a long practice of yoga. And rarely we can see such births. So this is one more type of a opportunity Krishna is giving. So Prabhupada is quoting his own personal example, how he was born in a very pious family. His father was a devotee of Krishna from the very beginning, and used to see his father worshipping Radha Krishna. And very childhood, Prabhupada used to imitate whatever his father used to do. He had requested his father to give him deities. So Prabhupada had small deities of Radha Krishna from the very young age of 3-4 years. And Prabhupada remembers, wherever my house was there in Kolkata, in the courtyard nearby, there was Radha Govinda Mandir. Me and my sister used to go there and stand and watch the beautiful forms of Radha Govinda for hours together. So this seed of devotion was planted in in me from the very beginning of my life, right? And Prabhupada also gives example of his own spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Maharaj, who was also born in such a Vaishnava family, Acharya family. So by providence, both of them met, and how further what happened, we know the history. So like this Krishna is telling that such a rare birth of great acharyas happen like this. This is for the unsuccessful yogis who have not completed their yoga after long practice. Then Krishna says in verse number 43, Tatra tatra buddhi samyogam labhate paurvadehikam yatate cha tato bhujah samsiddhim kuru nandana. So when such a birth happens, second variety which Krishna is telling in the Acharya family, what happens? Whatever previous consciousness, divine consciousness he had, that will be revived. So whatever level of consciousness you have practiced, it will not go in vain. It will all be continuously with you. So sooner, when you are again coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, very soon you'll revive. Oh, sometimes you see small children reciting Bhagavad Gita slokas so fluently and explaining them. How? Because in the previous life, they have perfected to some level. Like Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, at the age of 7, he knew the entire Bhagavad Gita. Any verse he could explain very nicely. So this only shows how they were all blessed in the previous life, and now again opportunity was given. So in that way, Krishna says they are given an opportunity to make further progress in order to achieve complete perfection. So this is what you are supposed to see. Nothing, it's all In that way, what you can see from these explanations of Krishna's, this wonderful way of presentation is that the spiritual journey is a continuous journey. It goes on. It is not going to be destroyed anytime. Life after life, it goes on. Unless you achieve perfection, Krishna will give you opportunities. So Prabhupada is giving the example of King Bharata, who in his life, as Bharata, King Bharata, he renounced his family, kingdom at a very early age, took up devotional service. But due to again becoming attached to a deer, he had to take second birth as a deer. And somehow he remembered his previous good life. So he was staying in an ashram and just hearing Krishna Katha. Next life, third birth, he took birth as a Brahmana's son, Jada Bharata. But even then he remembered, Porva Dehikam, his previous birth, bodily consciousness of his previous life he had. So he was acting as though he was dumb and dull, and he was not trying to interact with anybody, because he thought, if I interact with anybody and everybody, again I may degrade. He was very careful and cautious, right? So he remained secluded and practiced his bhakti. That was the life of King Bharata, who had 3 births, and finally, in the life of Jada Bharata, he was liberated. So that's what Krishna is telling us here, that if you can somehow move forward in your spiritual life steadily with determination, then the perfection is assured. Lord's grace, Prabhupada says, Krishna always gives repeated opportunities for completion in the process of Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada says, don't wait for next life, try to perfect in this life. Prabhupada gives the example, rather he makes a statement from his own Guru Maharaj's famous, his anecdote. Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj used to say, this world is not a place for gentlemen. Place of full of miseries, so much of problems. No gentleman would like to stay here. Right? Gentleman's place is spiritual world, Krishna Loka. Right? So you have to go back. So don't make a permanent settlement here. Permanency is not here. It's only Ashashvatam Dukhalayam. Right? So this is what Krishna is telling. Krishna is going to is given opportunity that your previous consciousness of whatever you have practiced will be revived, and again you continue your determination to move forward in your practice of Krishna consciousness. Next, verse number 44, Krishna says, Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate hi avashopi saha jignasur api yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. So the person, this is about the second variety, that is the person who is somehow, for some reason, he has done a long practice of yoga but couldn't complete. He is born in an Acharya family, and he revives his divine consciousness very soon, and he continues his practice with steadiness, and he becomes attracted to the principles of yoga practice naturally. And just like all of us have somehow taken up Krishna consciousness. Whereas in our own families, we see sometimes our spouse or our children have not taken up. So this again shows how maybe I have done something, or grace of Prabhupada. It has happened that I have taken up Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says in one context, most of us are unqualified, but because of Prabhupada's mercy, we have become, some of Prabhupada has blessed us. So we are taken up the path of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada always says, it's not a miracle of me, it is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Prabhupada never takes any credit for himself. But nevertheless, pure devotee's mercy is there. It is possible. So Lord Krishna says that such an inquisitive transcendentalist, Jignasu api yogasya, he is not attracted to the regular rituals, other things. He knows what is the purpose for which I have to do. What is the essence of things? The puja, rituals, different type of so many other yajnas, what all people do. He's not lost in that. He knows the purpose of all of them is finally to become Krishna conscious. As Prabhupada is quoting from the Bhagavatam, very famous verse, which is spoken by Devahuti, mother of Lord Kapila, that if in your tongue the holy name is being uttered, which means you have performed all the different kinds of austerities, sacrifices, you have studied all the Vedas, you have visited all the sacred places. Sometimes people think studying Vedas, visiting holy places, Tirtha Sthalas, or performing sort of yajna, sacrifices, only then you will get the punya to chant Hare Krishna. So, but the other way, if you are chanting Hare Krishna, already you have done everything. It's like Prabhupada gives example of you, a student is in the law college, which means already he has gone through his schooling, his other levels of college and come to law college. Likewise, if you have started chanting Hare Krishna, means you have done all the Vedic studies, you have done all the rituals, sacrifices, then only Hare Krishna will come. Because chanting Hare Krishna is not easy. Very fortunate. Should always value this. If Hare Krishna chanting has come on our tongue, it is great mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. So, Purvabhyasena, again, this Purvadehikam, Purvabhyasena. You would have done something. Or causeless mercy of Guru and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is what is bestowed upon us. So, after this, Krishna is explaining, like this, if you go on endeavoring, in verse 45, Prayatana ditamanastu yogi samshuddha kilbishaha aneka janma samsiddha tato yati parangatim. You to understand that Krishna conscious practice depends on our seriousness. That's what Krishna is telling us here. If you sincerely endeavor in making further progress, you have to be completely free from all contaminations. Yogi samshuddha kilbishaha. Kilbishaha means contaminations. What do you mean by contamination? Contamination means desire for sense gratification. That has to be zero. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Like Prabhupada explains, material contamination are of different varieties. In this material, they are all classified into four headings. What are they? The illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. So these four contaminations you have to be free from. Desire for any of these four. Because Prabhupada says all the sinful activities can be grouped under these four. So, if somehow we can be free from this contamination completely, free from all contamination, right? Yoga samshuddha kilbishaha aneka janna samsiddhi tato yati parangati. According to Krishna, it will take many, many births of practice to come to this stage. Bhagavatam says, the Gopalakas or the friends of Krishna playing with him as cowherd boys, they have attained that stage of being Krishna's associate after many millions of births of austerities. So, which means becoming a pure devotee of Krishna is not easy. In next chapter, we'll see. Beginning only, Krishna says, millions of people are endeavoring for perfection. Out of them, hardly one knows me in truth. Which means it's not, Prabhupada says it is not very easy and very easy also, provided you follow strictly. That's the point. So basically, from the regular conventional way of practices, yes, it is not easy. Very nice pastime is there of Haridas Thakur. It is in one of the occasions, there was a discussion, debate. Haridas Thakur was telling that chanting of Hare Krishna will give you highest perfection of Krishna Prema. Like that, I was going on glorifying the holy names, wonderful glories. So one caste Brahmana was not convinced of all these glories of holy name. He started telling, right? You are telling that even to come to the stage of the Brahma Bhuta stage, you should be free from all sins and all contaminations. It takes many, many lifetimes. And you are telling holy name is going to give further highest perfection, I can't believe. So Haridas Thakur said, no, holy names, even little glimpse. It's like early morning when sun is about to rise, right? Twilight. Sun is not even risen, but it started becoming, light. That the night is going and slowly light is coming. Sun is not risen still, but even then you start seeing things, right? The dense darkness of night is gone, and slowly you are able to see light. That is called Nama Bhasa. Means the Abhasa of Nama means light. Abhasa of light also, you see, light is about to come, but light is not come still. The feeling of light you can see, experience. So even that feeling of light will drive away all the thieves, rogues, and everybody, right? And the dense darkness, it is driving away. What about the bright sun when comes up? So the chanting of the holy name, Haridas Thakur says there are 3 levels. That is, one level is the first level called the Namaparada stage, which all of us are in, wherein we are constantly committing offenses and chanting the holy name. Next level should be Nama Bhasa, wherein the offenses are reduced as much as possible. And then that way, slowly there is an awakening of Krishna Nama within our heart, Ruchi. And when that is matured, Shuddha Nama will be awakened. And that time, everything will be very clear. Right? Even that, the awakening of Nama Bhasa stage also is very, very, that is good enough to destroy all your sins. That was the discussion which goes on there. So basically, with regard to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says it all depends on the practitioner. Right? It's possible even in this life you can perfect, provided you seriously follow. Opportunity is given to us. So Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita, one of the verses. Next chapter will read this. Krishna says, unless you are freed from all the sinful contaminations, how do you become free from sinful contaminations? Only when you have executed pious activities. Yesham tu antagatam papam. All the papa should be completely zero. Right? When you have done punya karmana, jananam punya karmana, then you're free from all dualities of this material world. There's only, existence of Lord Krishna in your consciousness. Then you become fixed up in bhakti. Basically, Krishna is explaining gradual process, how unsuccessful yogi, after short practice, he'll be born as the son of in a very rich family, or son of a very pious son in a pious family, child in a pious family, or child who is taken, the child can be born as in the Acharya family. All depends on what level of practice the living entity has done. And based on that, further progress can happen. But Krishna consciousness is such that any stage of your consciousness, you can be elevated to the highest stage, provided you are ready to practice Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada proved this by going to the Western countries in a very degraded place, Bowery Street, New York. And there he delivered the most degraded people, hippies, and he made them Vaishnavas. Right? So like this, Krishna is coming to conclusion now, verse 46. He says, so for this reason, Arjuna, you become a yogi, Krishna says. In verse 46. Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi, jnanibhyo pi mato adhikaha, karmibhyas adhiko yogi, tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. Right? A yogi is greater than a tapasvi. Tapasvi means ascetic. Or is greater than the jnani, empiricist. Or is greater than even the karmi, fruity worker. So always remain a yogi. Yogi basically means a person who knows the purpose of life is to revive a relation with Krishna and act in that direction and be constantly in that consciousness. Right? So when the activities, your karmas are directed toward this action, is called karma yoga. Or when a jnani is trying to find out, or rather do research and do all these speculations and trying to find out his truth, is called jnani yoga. Or a tapasvi, say Ashtanga yogi, does the austerities the way we have understood. He's called a Ashtanga yogi. Right, whatever level you are in, finally you have to reach the Bhakti Yoga. Krishna explained the yoga ladder in the beginning, wherein these different stages of different other yoga systems are only different steps to the final stage called Bhakti Yoga. So, Prabhupada explains, Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is the ultimate perfection of all yogas. And we'll see, Bhakti Yoga will be explained now from this chapter last verse and whole middle of Bhagavad Gita, 7 to 12 chapters only about Bhakti Yoga. Right? Bhakti Yoga means the process of practice wherein which is going to keep you in direct contact with Krishna. As Prabhupada says, that is the perfection of all yogas, and Bhakti Yoga is full spiritual knowledge and nothing can excel it. Right? A karma yogi or a jnana yogi or a ashtanga yogi finally has to come to this level of Bhakti Yoga, only then he gets perfection. Right? Otherwise, that level of perfection is not complete perfection. You have some level of perfection. Right? That is the point. So, Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate perfection, is what Krishna is going to explain in the last verse, verse 47, the last verse of this chapter. Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tama mataha. So, of all the yogis, sarvesham yogi, of all the yogis, who is the topmost yogi or the highest yogi? He who always abides in me. Mad gatena antaratmana. Antaratmana means one who is always thinking of me. Always in constant absorption in me. Of whom? Krishna. One who is keeping Krishna in his heart always. With great faith, Shraddhaya, Shraddhavan. With great faith and in great devotion, he is worshipping Krishna. He is the highest yogi. Right? Any other yogi is only a stepping stone. Just like when you say, if you say the highest education level is to get the post graduation, maybe schooling or college, even graduation is all different stepping stones, you can say, like that. So here Prabhupada explains the word bhajate. This word is used in this verse. Krishna used the word bhajana. Bhajate means, as Prabhupada says, rendering transcendental loving service. Bhaja. Bhaja means service. Service can be given only to Supreme Lord Krishna. It is not showing some respect or some honor. No. Just like we show respect, honor to devatas or other respectable people. It's not like that. Bhajana means is only rendering service, because we are all part and parcel of Krishna. We have to render service to Krishna only. Anything else will be only going to entangle us. It's a very detailed philosophical explanation Prabhupada gives in this whole verse. I request all of you to go through this, but the essence is that the topmost yogi is he who is performing Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is what we're going to explain in the next middle six chapters. 7th chapter to 12th chapter, we're going to understand Bhakti Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Right? And what is the process of Bhakti Yoga? Krishna explains. Okay, so I'll conclude here. If anybody is going to ask and discuss, you can take a few questions.
Prabhuji, I have a small question, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Query these things. So just now we have discussed that if someone has not completed the journey, so there is a chance that he can take a birth on the Acharya's family. But sometimes we have seen that people have taken birth on the Acharya families, and also he has become a kulangar. You know the meaning of kulangar? Means
downtrodden, degraded.
Means degraded, means completely, means he is the he can spoil the complete society, is a kind of, and also the family culture and all these things. So after taking birth also in Acharya families, we have noticed that some of the people also they have become like that kind of dusto, we can say, means that kind of atma. What is the reason for that?
Prabhupada gives the reason in the purport only. I'll read, you see. In India, there are many such Acharya families. But they have now degenerated due to insufficient education and training. Okay, you got the answer. Insufficient education and training, they have got degraded. So basically, whatever situation you are in, is an opportunity Krishna has given for you to move forward in your spiritual journey. And your fall down or your degeneration can happen from whatever stage. Just like Bharat Maharaj also was in a very top stage of bhakti, but he got again degraded. One more Acharya's example Prabhupada gives in his lectures. One Acharya by name Billo Mangala Thakura. Okay, he is from Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. He was in Vrindavan in the 8th century. He lived for 700 years. Okay, he's a very famous devotee, Billo Mangal Thakur. Prabhupada says, in his previous life, he had attained perfection up to Prema Bhakti, but he again degraded. He was born in a very good Acharya family, but again, very rich family, Acharya family. Again, he got degraded there. He got association with the prostitute. And at one point of time, the prostitute told him, how much attachment you have for me, that much attachment you had for Krishna, what your life would have become. Immediately he left that place and he came to Vrindavan. He was in South India, somewhere in Kerala. So it's all, again, this only shows how this Krishna consciousness or practice of bhakti is completely voluntary. It all depends on you. You may be in whatever stage. You have to take it up seriously and move forward. You have to understand. That's why lack of training and education. The spirit is lost. Nowadays, in Vrindavan or some other holy places, there are Pandas or Goswami families. But in spirit, they are not, really having that background, training, education. Right? They only say, I am from that lineage, Goswami family or great Acharya family, but not following the principles. So it is because of, the caste. The caste. Simply by caste, you will not become that. You have to follow that, basically. You have to have that qualification. That's one more thing. So Prabhupada says, lack of education and training. So anybody can become an Acharya, anybody can become Goswami, provided, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kene Nai. Say Krishna Tattva Veta, say Guru Hai. So you may be a Brahmana, a sannyasi, or a Shudra, doesn't matter. But you know Krishna Tattva, then you become an Acharya or a Guru. That's the point. So your background of where you are born, it hardly matters.
Adhogati is also possible after that. Adhogati is also possible.
Adhogati anytime is possible. It's like you're climbing the steps. Anytime you can slip down, no? On your own. Right? Path of spiritual journey means you're going up. Anytime you can fall down. Whatever level you have gone, that much you will fall down. That much force you will fall down. Correct? You have gone to 10th floor, the fall also will be 10th floors. Only one floor means the fall is less. So like that. So possible. So fall down means again what? You are doing offense to Vaishnavas, not following the principles, simply for the sake of doing some things. So fall down. That's why that is the level of degradation what has happened right now in the present India. Right? In the name of spirituality, people are exploiting. So Prabhupada wanted to completely expose all these things and want to tell that yes, by birth is not the way which Krishna wanted, it's by qualification. Okay. Fine.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any other question? Any clarification?
Guruji, Hare Krishna. The last sentence of this chapter, the 6th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the matter of Sankhya Yoga, Brahma Vidya. So I think the word Brahma Vidya means the Bhakti Yoga is the topmost.
Yeah.
Is that Correct, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra. These are two words which Vyasadeva uses in every chapter. What is Brahma Vidya? Brahma Vidya means the knowledge about Brahman, spirit, supreme spirit, Krishna, and we, spirit souls. Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra. These are the things. So, Krishna is teaching Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means the knowledge about spiritual subject matters, about spirit. Yes, good observation. The matter of Sankhya Yoga, Brahma Vidya. In fact, every chapter in Sanskrit, in Mahabharata, this particular section of Bhagavad Gita, every chapter like this, it ends like this. Specific chapter name with Brahma Vidya Yoga Shastra. Right. Fine. Good observation. Okay. Any other thing, or we'll close now? Okay. So next week onwards, we'll begin with the new chapter, chapter 7. Okay. So next few chapters are very interesting and very easy also. Not difficult like the 6th chapter. Okay. Technical. It is very nice, very wonderful. Next chapter. You can cover very fast in 2-3 sessions. Chapter.
No, Prabhuji.
Huh?
You're going with a very nice speed, this thing. Not very fast. It's very, with your kind means preaching that we are getting some knowledge. If you are
Oh, Sanilji.
more, then it
Oh, I
will
was going in gear number 1. You have to change the gear now. Gear 2. Okay. Gear 2, gear 3. Right. After Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita
But
study.
sometimes on the when you are elevating, that time the first gear is also good. Second gear or
I
third gear,
brought you up to
you'll
the
not be
elevation.
able
Now
to
it is
go
down.
up, Prabhuji.
Now it is all down. Gear also not required. It will go faster. Okay. So let's move forward. Because all simple, not very difficult. We'll like to see how it goes.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, fine then. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.